Looks good.
So, Chaos Bot, where's Suceris?
Okay, are we ready to start rock and roll?
Well, let's see how this goes.
Are we actually on stream? It doesn't show the little people
I'm seeing
symbols.
the
Are we
stream,
talking?
and I think that we can see even the production. So yeah, congratulations to me. Yeah, very welcome.
Very nice.
Spotted that barracks, plural.
Eris is pretty calm about this.
I mean, if we have a Chaos Bot game, I mean, haven't seen the result, but I'm pretty sure that we will get a. I mean, if he doesn't win, will be very very weird not to have this game. But yeah, I wonder how he's going to be able to do it with Ares scouting.
Yeah, it doesn't look good so far. But Zoe would pull like 4 drones. This.
Anyway, I think that it's a very very expensive proxy at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder why Eris is having only one drone harassing
Yeah,
those
that's what I
SAV.
was thinking. I mean,
Okay, I think that
it's doing a good job.
that bunker is changing
Other
the
bunk.
way
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was a
so
mistake here.
there's already one marine out and it's going to take care of those drones.
3 Marines now. Yeah. There's some nice SimCity here. I wonder if that's intentional. But the Marines have a safe space.
That's a really ideal place for the Marines. The worker count for the Eris doesn't look so pretty at the moment.
It doesn't look super good. There's minerals enough to make more though.
And he definitely has supply for it. But what about the coding? Is he prioritizing something else over the drones?
Yeah, can we
Probably.
have production tab? Like there's larva. Oh, there's nothing. I think Garrus just broke, I guess.
Yeah, I think this could happen when there's not mineral income. He's waiting for example 150 minerals, and Eris will never do anything ever
You would
again in
think
this
though,
game.
with 0 workers, that the next thing to do would be to make work.
Yeah, but you definitely have to program that separately for the bot. If you limit for the next production is 150 and it's never going to reach that, you have to program.
Yeah, but like typically you have, if I'm at this worker count, then do this. If I'm at this worker count, do this, right?
But do you program specifically for 0 workers? What you do then? I think you are giving up the game already.
I guess.
Chaos, but did it. I think this was absolutely great achievement from Chaosbot.
Yeah. I like the SimCity with the bunkers and the barracks. Yeah,
It definitely
over
did
here.
work.
Up to 5 bases.
Can you please put the matches that we have in the chat? I didn't allow them in hand.
Oh, in which?
In the the chat, please.
I can add those, or will somebody else do that? I do have the small list. There's only like 3 games.
No worries. Yeah, I can use that.
I pinged one game. I haven't watched it, but it was a longer Zoe Eris game. Those can be kind of fun.
I think we should watch that one also.
I wonder what happened to Eris not to at least try with those 150 minerals.
There's a queen. So I didn't see
Yeah, I mean, we have larva type. I mean, in my games I have seen more larva than this.
10-minute, 30-second marine timing.
Very
Am I
the
able to?
meta. Okay, let me
It's not
download.
queuing up the games for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's because I'm observing.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah, it makes sense why it goes to the left without any reason, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I.
I forgot to close this one. And now we should be downloading the game. By any chance, are you hearing anything in the background?
No.
No.
Thank God. Let's say that is not a quiet moment at home.
Yeah, sometimes there's a live background, but that's the way we have to do it.
Yeah. Oh, Ennis versus Chaos. I was wondering, what's the confidence and chance that you have in here?
There are just confidence resembles how big win percentage it has with this strategy, and from the pool, what's the chance to pick up this particular strategy? So nothing more special. It's just a indication for the chance for this particular strategy.
Okay. Are you tagging it in the match?
Sorry?
Are you tagging it? I mean, you know that that tagging feature that we have not so long ago.
Yes. No, I'm not tagging those numbers, only the strategy I'm having. So, yeah.
Was it counter worker rush or counter attack?
I also do that with my with my workers. Whenever I take a worker rush, it's like, what? You don't worker rush me. I worker rush you.
Does that actually work? You think you'd be behind in the base trade?
It depends completely what the enemy is doing. So, well, it depends. So in this case, I think it's not going to work. I think this is a bugged out version for the worker rush, but now I shouldn't be pulling back the workers to main base. I just visited the enemy base and pulling my workers back. So this is not the way to do it.
Yeah, it's for sure not the way to do it.
Or maybe I lost the sight for the every SCV, and my bot thought, okay, it's over, we can go back to home,
Right.
and I'm not initiating again the worker rush, so I'm getting beat up here really bad.
No,
What I do in order
no
to prevent
minerals.
that is have some kind of memory. I mean, I have realized that the 4 seconds that I have of memory is not enough, and I suicide many of my army just because it's like, oh, okay, so it's only one silot. No, you haven't seen anything but one silot in the last 4 seconds, but the whole army is still there.
Yeah, the memory is really important for the bot, and I'm hoping to make proper memory. I do have some parts for the memory already, but it's not working properly. I just remember a few units and that's it. So I need more functionality for the memory part for my bot.
And a BM by Chaos Bot here. Leave it burning and then go home.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like he only leaves the base and one extractor. I mean, this is very DM.
No. Yeah, now you're building the proxy, yeah. I think Chaosbot completely fucked up Anibot at this time.
I think that's his way, right?
Yeah, I think that's
proxy sucker.
that. Yeah, that's the reason I like Chaosbot. It's doing so weird stuff. Well, it's entertaining to watch those games.
Okay, let's try another one. Am I the only one that has lost the stream?
I mean, it's still on the robot now.
Okay, who joined?
You get dropped.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hi, Ketro, how you doing?
Yep.
Yeah, hear you clearly.
Well, I think this one is a little longer than the previous two, so otherwise it's going to be the fastest stream we had ever.
Yeah.
I haven't watched this, so we'll see. But it's a longer game at least.
So this is Ares on the top left, and we have Zoe, the good one, or how we should be subtitled her.
Yeah, no, this is good. Not the evil one, yeah.
Anyway,
Zoe is doing really good at the ladder. I think it's a fifth, if I remember correctly, at the moment.
Yeah. I found a pretty bad bug in my Ling micro. You remember that fight I showed you, Yasta, where you out microed those Lings? It wasn't just that you were doing good micro. I also had a pretty horrible bug,
As I said, I
which
mean,
is
yeah.
in the Probots submission. So I'm hoping Meanest doesn't get Zerg.
You were with Sur
Oh
Charbot,
no.
right? Or Whalemean?
I think it's gonna be Wave Mean, but I mean we haven't gotten confirmation.
I
But
have
Shark Knight
exactly
said
the
he was
same with
sending Wave Mean.
Veteran and MLP. Not sure who I'm going to find.
Fixing
Almost sure
that
it's the game
bug,
to find Ketrok.
I can actually go toe to toe with Eris sometimes.
I saw that you go very upgrade heavy on the Ling War, just at the very beginning, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems when I'm looking from the ladder that you have around 20% win rate against Eris, and I think that's a really good percentage.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah. Actually, since I fixed the bug, it's actually close to 50%.
Oh, really? That's
It's
impressive.
actually more than 50%. 65. So
My bot recently went from like 80% versus Eris down to about 0. He's been kicking my butt recently.
Is it because you updated your bot or because they updated theirs?
Yeah, he does like a pretty heavy Ling pressure early on, and my bot was too greedy. So I fixed that hopefully.
worker count here is pretty heavy in favor of Eris.
Double upgrades too going on for Zoe.
Yeah.
If that kicks in, that'll be helpful.
So she'll attack with +1 attack, so in about 10 seconds, I guess. Usually doesn't do super well.
Both bots being greedy, but in different ways. You're getting the upgrades fast. Eris is getting the third base fast. We're doing a Ling's coming in here though.
Yeah, for StarCraft you can have a lot of economy, army, or the upgrades, but you can't have every 3 of them. I mean, early in the game, you just have to choose 2 of them.
Yeah.
That didn't do anything, basically.
Yeah, +1 in Ling versus Ling I don't think is too impactful.
Yeah. Could be one less hit. Right?
Yeah. But it's already like, what, 6 hits or something? So 6 to 7 or 6 to 5.
I think it's 8 hits. I use 35 hit points, 5 damage.
Yeah.
and then
Whereas,
some
like,
regen.
+1 armor versus zealots, for instance, gives you 1 additional hit, and that's from 2 up to 3. So that's pretty massive. That was like a 50% change.
Yeah, you will get a lot more value out of units with that one. But with the circlings, you definitely need several upgrades for the circlings to get really value out of them.
Still nice, though.
Link-
I mean, especially if you keep the upgrades going, you'll just have a lead all game long on the upgrade front.
Yeah, and Ares isn't. I mean, Ares is actually going +1 attack. No armor. It's going better.
Yeah, it's a nice fight. Quite enough left over to deal with the queen, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, it gets 1. And drains all the transfuse energy. Oh, 2. Okay, never mind. I thought with transfuse I would get cleaned up easily at the end.
This is a pretty good position for Zoe when the worker count is about even. What often happens is that Ares just runs away with the workers.
Does Zoe stay on Ling Tech?
Ultras.
Ling Ultra.
I hope,
Okay.
I hope we'll see them because it's going long. Then we should see Ultras.
If that's a game plan, then I would stay on top of the upgrades. Start the 2-2 and 1-1 finishes and so on.
Yeah, I think she does.
Oh, we're looking at the units tab. Never mind. I was looking for the
Should be-
upgrade, and I was on the production tab.
It's almost done.
Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Nice. Halfway done.
We don't get to see a whole lot of ZVZ matches in the bot world. Has anyone tried Bailings versus Zerglings? Do they still work with bots, or is the micro just make them impossible to use?
So Ares does do bailings sometimes. I mean, there's drops now. Well, maybe we'll see some on this game. Did put in some bailing micro or anti-bailing micro.
Those Eris Baneling drops are really effective against my bot. I don't have any counter code to counter those drops, and most of my SCVs are purely dying against those Baneling.
Yeah. My bot doesn't see Bailings as a threat either. It's like, oh, they don't have an attack. Don't worry about it then.
Yeah. No, I haven't put anything in for the workers. The Zerglings should avoid. Send one Zergling in, try to get the Bane. The others stay away.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the Ultralisk 7. Gas. Ultralisk armor. Yeah, the Zerglings buried every one of the possible expansions. I've not gotten around to load up the Overseer to go there and camp it. Yeah, you can see the drones there.
Yeah, yeah. That's like a hard stop to a lot of bots when you block an expansion with something. Especially a Zergling, you can't even see it. Like at least a Widow Mine, you know it's there. The Zergling is just you get a bunch of failed build commands.
I actually had a game versus Benbot where there was a Zergling blocking next expansion. My Zergling.
Mhm.
The problem was that was the next expansion for Benbot, so I was firing Zerglings there to stop from expanding. And they didn't move when I wanted to expand there.
It's nice that the API has access to action errors. So if you have like a,
Yeah.
if you get like a you can't build there action error, you can, build logic off of that. So if I try to build a command center and there's nothing blocking it, but it won't allow me to build it, then I know that I need to deal with a Broad Zergling.
Still super.
It looks like you got a 5th and 6th base up.
The Overseer must have passed by randomly.
Just a question regarding CVZ games. Is it common to clear the enemy creep tumors, or are you just leaving those tumors there as they are?
Just running by, they'll attack. They can see the tumors. They're valid targets. Zoa will clear them. Just because they don't put anything into the What's that? Nidus in the main. Oh, that was just obviously.
Jeremy, I'm trying to look for everything and
Yeah.
I'm missing an Idus. How can it be?
Oh no, it was an Overseer or another one. It's a lot going on.
Bot games often have the action is all around the map, not just one or two places, but everywhere.
Yeah.
Same thing.
If someone's
when you're
actually
watching-
observing, I'd suggest Shift Z. Makes it a little bit easier to catch the action.
Thank you. I was aware of this, but not this.
Yeah. Z's like zoom out and Shift Z is really zoom out.
Other thing, I feel like it's better things than this. Maybe a mod, but
I think those ultras are really getting value out of them. So
Yeah.
Any damage that's hitting the Ultra and not a Zergling is really good for the Zerg player. I guess Eris hasn't put in any neuroparasite code for Ultralisks.
Oh, I guess not.
I know he does it on other big units. like Thors and battle cruisers and stuff.
Give an idea. Because they will be using okay, you already said about the drop loss.
Oh, did you see any?
I mean, it was I think versus Kepler.
Yeah, I mean, but in this game.
Ah, no, in the same game I haven't seen.
Eris is looking broke and dead. Yeah, he's done.
But the overseers
not had-
dropping those changelings are, or are those just for the vision?
It would be my overseers.
Okay,
But they'll just drop them randomly. I don't really do anything.
Surprising to see Eris worker count so low at the moment. So Zoe is really doing
So
damage
it's been
for Eris.
hitting the expansions pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't think he intends to have 50 workers. He just doesn't have a choice because he's dying.
Saying that the sound of the game is too high and my voice is low. So give me 1 second. Hopefully we can fix it before the next game. Can we? Okay. Ah, no.
It's F10.
Thank you. Again.
And then somewhere in the options menu, I think. It's game sound.
Let's hope it works better.
Well, I think we can move on to the next game.
Yeah,
Eris
this
looks
is
super dead.
pretty much.
Unless there's something that's going to happen.
Oh, I haven't watched, but Zoe does win this one, so there's nothing interesting happening.
Do we have any other
Yes.
game in the queue?
There's one game still from me. It's Annie versus Eris also, so I can get that number also.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Just a moment, it's coming.
No worries. I'm just laughing on my miss saying that This is our poor new micro machine. You know, very strong bot that never is able to win.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's what you get when you are the number one in the ladder, right?
Yeah, you have to be ready to get beaten all the time in the stream when you are number one. I think Getrock will taste that also when you get there. So
Yeah, anytime soon. I mean, it's amazing that we have 4 bots so close. I remember that when I joined that micro machine was like 200 at least about the next bot all the time.
yeah, I think top 4 or 5 bots at the moment they are completely different level compared to other bots at the moment. So I think it's a good thing that the bots are improving, and we are going to have those 2 leagues in the future.
I think the division system has worked really well.
Yes, I was a little bit surprised how really well it's working. There's only one concern that if the elo gap grows too big, is it still possible to climb from the second division to the first division?
It's not gonna, right? Because when you're in the upper league, you'll lose them. You will lose ELO. Because
I guess what he's saying is like the lower leagues might be feeding all the ELO to the upper league until the gap between the two are wide. I don't think that can happen though, because it's just the way ELO works. Once the gap gets so wide, you can't even. It's so hard to even lose points.
Yeah, and we will counter the problem if that occurs. So maybe forced going to the up and lower leaguers or something, but let it be
it's not
like
gonna.
this.
It's not gonna.
Yeah, I think that we
Right?
simply need to take a little time so the ladder gets to a stable point. I mean, I think that we are more than 1 week, have we?
Yeah, it's starting to get pretty stable about now.
Anyway, it was funny to see that what that. Yeah.
Preseason opened 20th of October.
So 1 week exactly.
1 week exactly. Proxy gets up. As in Marauders.
Yeah, this one will be Marauders. I can't even remember how it goes, but I think Eris is able to handle the proxies quite well.
Traditionally, Proxy Marauder is not supposed to work versus Zerg, but if they happen to be doing a Roach Rush or something, it'll go great. Just because Zerglings are so good versus Marauders. That's typically their early game unit.
Yeah, and probably I should research that concussive shells instead of stim. And it's not even stim timing. I will go before the stim is ready. So it's far from optimized.
Stim takes a long time.
Yeah, the only reason to do this is for the concussive shell. So if you're going against like Protoss, for instance, concussive shell just means a Zealot will never hit you.
Maybe I have to modify this strategy a little bit. If there's a circling opponent, I will research concussive cells instead.
Yeah, the other thing is concussive shell is a really quick upgrade. But it's so good on Marauders when there's barely any units on the map, because it makes them so strong. But again, it feels like a strategy better suited for Terran and Protoss, because there's no armored units for Zerg. It's just Zerglings and Queens, which Marauders do half damage to.
But I think Eris thinks the same thing. The Marauders are not a threat, and that's the reason he's droning up and not building links.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's usually pretty good at identifying when he's getting cheesed, but Yeah, he just kept droning and droning. 8-ling's coming now, but only after losing all of his queens. He even put down a creep tumor instead of just saving transfuse.
That's really hard code to put in.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine so.
To make that kind of decisions on the fly, it's really difficult for the bots. So, yeah. Are we able to see the lost units tab? And what's the situation at the moment?
What, he's 6 Zerglings? Wow.
I think those marauders have earned their place in heaven.
Yeah.
Pretty even, though, right?
And I think that heavy droning was paying off for the Eris, even though he lost so much. He's still way ahead of workers at the moment, so I think that was right call to do.
Why are you expanding to the third here? Not the natural.
I think there was something in my natural when the decision was made where to expand. If there's something in my natural, I will take the third instead. So it requires only one circling in my natural, and then I will go to the third instead, or the scouting drone or something. No, I think it was that scouting link that was in my natural, and that's the reason I'm moving in the third
Aye.
now. No, I'm not imitating Three-Way Lover way of building expansions.
Yeah.
I think he took the natural after he was certain that his bot is going to win the game.
Back in the more primitive days, he took his third base, and it would confuse every single bot. So they're like, oh no, there's no natural, I'm getting all in.
Yeah.
That's going to be impressive if Ane wins this.
Well, it was a really good start, that's for sure.
I don't know, should I be more aggressive when playing against Zerglings, because I'm falling behind in worker count really fast in every single matchup against Eris.
Yeah. But you can't keep up with Zerg and worker production. But also, I noticed your orbital wasn't building a worker for like 20 seconds there. Maybe some priority on your worker production as well.
Yeah, I think that
Good
if
to keep
there's
them going nonstop.
yeah.
But yeah, traditionally, if you don't attack, Zerg will just get so far ahead that you can't win. So, for human Terran players, the way they deal with that is they put pressure on Zerg, which forces the Zerg to build army instead of drones, and then it keeps the game more even.
Yeah, I think I have to do something like that, because Eris and Zoe are running me over every single time.
Pretty different playstyles, though.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
Zoe
unless
is
you're
running you over because she's out droning you.
And unless your opponent's making roaches, a tank marauder army is going to lose to just about anything. It's bad against Zerglings and Hydras and Ravagers and air units.
I just hate those burrowed lings. You have to have a special code for them. It's a brilliant idea to do that, but I really hate those things.
At least he's not like got his overlords there pooping creep out at the same time. And even after you
Thank
clear the
God.
ling, you still gotta wait for 30 seconds for the creep to go away.
Yeah, absolutely right.
As you can see the overlords.
That's true. Yeah, the things you can't see are the toughest things in the game.
Yeah, and especially those burrowed units that are stationary, and they are not visible in anywhere, so you have to
Yeah.
scout them or know that they're there. So it's really difficult to pinpoint exactly where they are and what's going on.
It's one
I
of
think
these
that's a-
things, right, where you have to do it. If you don't do it, it's going to break your bots. But if you actually sit down and look for it, then it's not that hard. Like there are a million things to do. You have to actually get around to doing it.
Yeah, there's so many things on the to-do list for my bot. I don't know where to start. I've just been bug hunting for a couple of weeks, and now Annie seems to be a little bit stable.
A decent attack angle, and he was making roaches, so your Marauder army is getting pretty good efficiency. Fortunately, that siege tank was just outside of range for most of the fight.
It's the Spore Forest.
I still gotta fix my Banshees against those. My Banshees still commit suicide on the
Yeah.
Spore Force. They're like, there's enough of us to kill one Spore, so let's dive in. And meanwhile, there's like 10 Spores there.
Yeah, you need definitely some kind of identification. Is there 1 or 10 of them?
I still need to work on hunting logic.
I finally added some codes to avoid the corrosive vials, so it seems to be working once in a while quite nicely. So I'm not suiciding all my units in the vials anymore. It seems that for the Marauders it's not functioning properly, so I back to the drawing board.
Do you know that the effect, the bile effect, you can see, disappears about half a second before the bile hits?
Yeah. So you pull all your units outside of the bile range, and then right before it lands, you put them all back in there, and they all get hit.
I think I increased the radius so big that the units are not able to walk back under the bile in half a second.
Yeah. Unless they get fungled when they're trying to exit, and then they can make it back in time.
Yeah.
I did it that way too, but that was a long time ago. I need to go back and do that properly. Because it also means I'm like running away from this huge radius for like 3 seconds before it even lands. So my army's not even fighting when it could be, and just pulling away last second.
A lot of the value, especially in human play, right, of the biles is just zoning. keeping
Yeah.
your enemy from attacking you and run away.
So you are keeping track of the time, how long the effect has been active, and just take your units just before the bile lands.
That's what I want to do, but currently I'm doing it the same way you are.
Okay.
So what,
okay.
Just
what
run
I
away from a giant radius for the entirety of the Gross and Bile. Oh, there's the Veiling drops.
what I do is just remember, like run away from a spot if there was Ravager Bile effect there in the last second. I don't do
Yeah.
anything to not run away until the last second.
I guess you could actually time it around when it disappears. As soon as it disappears, that's when you run away.
It's a bit tight though.
Yeah, it's a bit tight. I just think there is like the edge case of when you see a bile but you didn't see when it was launched, then it's hard to know when it's going to land. Because the launch range is pretty long range, so you may not see them all. Although you probably would. Be close enough
if
to
you
shoot
don't
it
have
at you.
vision, it's if you're running up a ramp, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's probably not the most common case.
And as long as he's shooting the bile on your units, then your units are close enough to see it. I guess that's not an edge case, really. At least not a practical one.
Yeah.
But if for other abilities, I've had to work around that.
Animal's doing well here.
Yep.
What
Definitely
I
making those.
what I noticed, Eris is really afraid of those liberator zones, and not
For good
not
reason.
always, but yes, and it would be
Death.
it would be great to actually have some logic where I'm launching those. It's really simple logic at the moment, but it could be easy to zone out different areas on the map with the liberator zones.
Yeah, he probably doesn't face many liberators, so he hasn't coded much for it. Ravager Biles are the perfect weapon versus liberators, because the liberator won't be able to dodge it.
Liberators and tanks are the main targets for the corrosive biles.
Which maybe liberators can dodge it. I don't know. Maybe with frame perfect unsiege, which bots could have. Maybe it would be quick enough to get out of range in time.
I think it's around same time for the liberator to unsiege that a tank, or does it actually unsiege faster? I don't know.
Definitely faster than a tank, yeah. Yeah, tank there's no chance of getting out of the way. I'm pretty confident about that. The liberator might be able to see a bile, unsiege, and run away. Possibly. Yeah, I also noticed all of his units try to stay just outside of Liberator range, but since they're all bumping into each other, there's always some units that are on the edge and taking the shots. So Liberators are still doing maximum damage, even though he's attempting to pull out of the zone.
I have that problem a lot too, when it's like, okay, we have to stay back from this fight, and then the big blob of units, and half
Yeah.
of them are like still in range.
Yeah. I'll notice that when I'm trying to stay out of range of a cannon or something, and there's always a unit getting bumped in range of the cannon and taking damage.
It's only 1.5 seconds for the unsiege, so it might have a chance to actually fly away from the bile.
Pretty fat though and slow, so maybe. Be close.
Liberators are pretty quick. I'm not sure what their acceleration's like. Maybe they don't accelerate quick enough. And their movement speed is.
Yeah, that's true.
Speed is 4.72. It's I think it's faster than Viking.
Requested Via lands approximately 2.5 seconds after being launched. So you get 1 second to retreat if you frame perfectly on siege. You might still take that damage. It'll be close though.
Well, you can always try to do that. So I might try to do that next thing because I don't. I do have the long list, but what else I could do?
It should be easy to set up a little micro scenario. Just test it. Spawn in a Ravager and then liberate.
I don't use those fancy tools. I just try everything on the ladder.
It's actually really useful, the debug spawning thing.
I do all my testing on the ladder too.
Oh,
GG.
now I have little micro battle scenarios set up to test unit micro.
Nice.
That sounds so cool. I think I have to do the same thing at some point.
It's very easy to do. So you've got like their debug commands to spawn units. You can just say, okay, give me like Zerglings at this position and more Zealots at this position.
Okay, that might be useful to try out. I don't have any more games. I could watch one more if you have some ideas what to watch.
I threw one up there. I'm not sure if you guys have looked at a Mecha Shark game yet.
Yeah, it's on the way.
But it's a Terran bot out of Shark Nice.
I'm definitely worried that this is what I'm gonna face next week. Whalemean gets Terran.
I didn't even know the tournament bracket changed. I thought I was facing Spud the first week, but it's Gen Z bot.
I mean, it changed with the forfeits, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's at some point I looked at the tournament bracket and saw my opponent, and then I never looked again, and it was wrong.
Yeah. It'd be nice to know what the final bots are. The people with multiple bots who they actually submitted. I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
I think everybody knows what me and Ketrok sent. If Ketrok doesn't have any surprises on his back pocket.
My surprises will only be bugs, because I made like a pretty significant overhaul to my bots right before I submitted. Felt like I tested it decently, but you never know. Like the day before, I found an infinite loop in my my bot. So, my God, jeez.
Yeah, same thing with my bot. It was surprise how well it did work before the pro bots. Now it's working better, but yeah, it's full of bugs at the moment. Are we able to update the bot before the lower bracket?
No,
No.
you need to win one game and then you get to update.
No,
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
suggested they change that, but they did not go
Maybe
through
next
with
time.
it.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
they already
okay.
had the rules in place. So I understand that.
Yeah, that's completely fine. I was glad that I was able to get in.
It's nice to get an update when you go to the lower bracket though, because maybe you had a serious bug that put you in the lower bracket and you want to be able to fix that before you have to play again.
Are you blocking all those ramps for the Reapers? I saw in this map you did that.
Yeah, versus Terran, I do that. That's my way of dealing with Reapers. It's either that or you get one of your own. If we switch to the next map pool, though, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do because the new maps have very wide openings for the Reapers. So it takes like 4 or 5 structures to wall off the jump area.
Okay, okay.
What's up with Ketrock here? 14 workers.
Maybe I didn't pick the best game. Maybe my butt's broken. I just picked a win for Mecha Shark. I saw one good game you had versus me. Is this not it?
It's the production tab. There's Banshees coming out. I wonder what. There's only 14 workers.
One base all in.
Yeah.
14
Unintended, but I
workers,
guess
6
so.
of them are mining gas.
Oh, I picked the wrong game. I saw one good replay versus Mecha Shark. Maybe I watched it on ADEX and didn't notice I wasn't making workers. Yeah, the only other wins he got against me were worker rushes.
I got sick of worker rushes. I think I will make one strategy that builds 3 supply depots first to block the ramp, and after that something else. So I think that will sort out that thing.
Evil Zoe sends 2 drones ahead to stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they send the workers like right at the start of the game too, you may not even have time to get up 3 depots. It'll be close. You may have to cut workers to do it.
I think the third one starts the building up something like a 45 seconds or something like that.
Oh, I built a SCV.
Now,
Like my boss
now.
finally started macroing. It's like we're 5 minutes in, time to start.
So 6 minutes in and 50 workers. That's a macro game.
Need to get that tank defense up first.
Me also be.
I got the new speed mining now, so I don't need workers anymore.
Did you get it to work with mute?
I haven't tried yet. Probably after Probots, I'll work on that.
I only speed mine in one direction at the moment. I had huge problems to get that work, but now it's working. I'm not going to touch that in any time soon.
Yeah.
I think this Reaper has been doing this since minute 2.
Yeah. But what it is doing is forcing out a whole lot of Marines I don't want to build. Because every time he jumps up to the high ground, my bot's like, oh shit, there's something in my main base. I better produce everything I can to stay alive.
Instead of workers, yeah.
So it just keeps building the useless Marines.
Oh, yeah.
Mecha Shark does not do worker rushes on the ladder. My bot thinks it's a worker rush because he brings repairing SCVs. Is that okay? I gotta look at these replays then.
What do you
This
guys
could be scary.
What do you guys think ghosts against Zerg units? Because I think that snipe is really good against some key units, but what do you think in bot world? Is that recommended to try to use ghosts to snipe enemy key units?
I don't think anyone's done it yet, but I think you're right. I think it can be very strong.
With Vipers.
Yeah, you can EMP the Vipers or you can try to snipe them. Snipe will be difficult to figure out when to do it and when not to. Because if you get attacked, it's interrupted. So you have to figure out when can I snipe and not be shot.
Do you know the relative range between snipe and abduct?
Oh, snipe is a pretty massive range. I think it's like...
Right.
but you have to charge it up, so abduct can always get off first. EMP can outrange abduct when you include the radius of the EMP itself.
Yeah, but EMP, I think it has a travel time. It's
Yeah.
not instant.
Yeah, it's a projectile.
It's really fast though, right?
It's pretty quick. Yeah, it's a lot faster than, say, Interference Matrix. Interference Matrix is useless to shut down an enemy caster because you'll always be able to cast a spell first before you can Matrix it.
Steady targeting has range 10, and also EMP has range 10 plus the radius 1.5. Actually, now when we are talking about it, wouldn't those ghosts be functional against ravens also?
Yeah. EMP would be solid. You can't snipe a Raven because it's not biological, but EMP will always be strong.
Yeah, I mean the EMP. You research the upgrade, you get bonus something on the radius, and after that
Okay.
you just disable the ravens. I don't know which spot I'm planning this against, but anyways.
I don't know. Is there anyone who does Mass Raven?
Well, it's just one of many builds my bot has now. Used to be one of two, so EMP would probably hard counter me pretty good.
Yeah, at least I want to try that, because I do want to have a ghost build and try to make it work, and at the moment it's completely worthless against Terran units, basically. You just can... Marauders are the targets, probably, for the snipes, but that's it.
I like how Mecha Shark's Hellions got right on top of my siege tanks. So my siege tanks couldn't shoot back. And then when my other tanks killed the Hellions, it blew up my own tanks at the same time because of the splash damage. Yeah, Ghost is high on my to-do list, actually. I'll probably be getting to that fairly soon as well. Especially as, like, Eris is my main competitor.
Are you choosing targets for the tanks, or are you just letting them shoot wherever they want?
No, my tanks do a lot of work, actually. Not just choosing targets, but they keep track of like the range, the vision range of the enemy tanks, so they know when they can like step forward and try to get in tank range and stuff. Because tank versus tank battles is kind of weird in that tanks can shoot further than they can see. So if you have a vision advantage, you can kind of walk in on the enemy. So yeah, I did a lot of work on my tanks to try to make my bot competitive with Micro Machine.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, Gen Z does it very well as well. His ability to track enemy vision and know when to scan to grant vision for his tanks and know when to step forward. So this is why my bot thinks it's a worker rush, because these repairing SCVs come, I guess. I'm guessing this is the worker rush I'm facing. Yeah, I was just looking at my tags. I'm like, okay, so Mecha Shark sometimes plays macro and sometimes does an SCV all in. That's what I thought just by looking at the tags I had set up.
I had to add some time limit. I think it's 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 10 seconds. After that, the worker rush counter code is disabled. So just to prevent situations like these.
I think I changed it for when I finished my ramp wall. I don't care about worker rush anymore. Because I had the time one, and then someone beat me with like a worker rush 8 minutes into the game or something. It's one of those games where it worker rushed, and then it was kind of even afterwards, and then he worker rushed me again, and then my code was turned off by that point. So I'm like, okay, I should probably do it on some hard logic rather than a time of the game.
Guess you want to turn it off if it hasn't triggered already. This is what I do.
Yeah.
It won't trigger the first time after time, but if it's triggered, then it's triggered. It's gonna stay active.
Actually, this is the kind of the playstyle from that Anibot game I liked in Probots back in the day. Or is this all mech units out of Mecha Shark? Still tank heavy, but not relying on Vikings for anti-air, just getting Thors. So it makes all my Vikings pretty useless, actually.
Yeah, if those Vikings doesn't have anything to shoot, it's a waste of money. Mecha Shark does have a couple of Vikings, but where are they? Are they in the action or?
Sure, he brings a Raven over once in a while, but it dies pretty quickly. Yeah, so this was... Yeah, I thought Mecha Shark kicked my butt this game, but I didn't realize I was on 15 workers for 5 minutes. So he had a bit of a handicap. Still nice composition he's got, though. Pretty impressive.
I agree.
I think he's on the verge of making Whale Mean an actual random bot that has a macro threat to it. So far, all of our random bots are just cheese fests.
GG.
Nice.
Okay, I don't know about anybody else, but I will have to stop here. So if you want me to put the queue again, and somebody will follow.
Yeah, I think we're probably done anyways, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I will
so.
go also. But thank you everyone for joining again with a so short notice. But it was nice to see that there were so many people participating in the stream.
Yeah, thanks for running it again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yada Hunt and Sevelas.
Yep.
Let's
Thank you.
do one tomorrow.
See you later.
See you guys.
See you.
Bye bye.